Today's going to be a pretty short lesson. I just want to go over a couple things that people were still struggling with in class and on the little Quizlet that I gave, the 4 questions from yesterday. So I just want to go over a couple things. One is if you're going to find the circumcenter of a triangle on a graph, okay, remember the circumcenter is the concurrence of perpendicular bisectors. So if I start with this side, if I'm going to find the circumcenter of this triangle, I start with this side, and it's vertical, so I know that the perpendicular to vertical is horizontal. So I got the perpendicular part. Now I need the bisector part. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tall. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's horizontal. So I know my first perpendicular bisector is going to look like this. Okay. Then I'm going to go down here. This one's horizontal, so I know that the perpendicular is going to be vertical, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 1, 2 and a half. Okay, it's not very straight, but I know that's going to be my perpendicular bisector for that side. Now, for the slanted side, it gets a little more difficult because I have to calculate not only the slope, but the midpoint. So the slope is, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is negative 8, 0. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, negative 3, 8. To calculate the slope, I would do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my slope is 8/5. All right, and that's the slope of this line here. All right, so if that slope is 8/5, my perpendicular slope is negative 5/8, opposite reciprocal. So now I know where the slant of the line. Now I just have to find out where the midpoint is so I can do the bisector part. So I take them to find the midpoint. I do x2 plus x1, so negative 8 plus negative 3 over 2, and then 0 plus 8 over 4. So negative 8 plus negative 3 is negative 11 over 2 is negative 5.5. 0 plus 8 is 8, divided by 2 is 4. I was doing that in my head too early. All right, so at negative 5.5, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5.5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's my midpoint. The slope is negative 5/8. Okay, so I count down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's my another point on that line. So to draw, I'm going to use the straight edge here because I'm just not good at drawing that far away. So my third perpendicular bisector would go through there. Okay, so if I look at my graph, that is my centroid, my circumcenter, and it is at negative 5.5, 4. Now, I know that this, because we know in a right triangle, it's always going to be on, the circumcenter is always going to be on the hypotenuse, so I know that as soon as I find the midpoint, that's the place. But if we're practicing so that when I give you a triangle like this, you can still find the circumcenter. Okay? So keep practicing, making sure you know how to calculate the perpendicular bisector of the line perpendicular. Okay? All right. And then the other thing people were having a little trouble with is identifying lines. So I want to go over one of those problems too. All right, so then we're given this triangle, and we're told that KZ, which is this orange line here, and KY, which is the other orange line, are angle bisectors. So that tells me that the distance from, or that those two, the concurrence of those points is the incenter. And I know that from the incenter perpendicular to the sides, so I'm not very good at drawing perpendicular, okay, from the incenter to the side of the other side of the triangle, they're all equal. Okay? So it says first, find the length of the shortest distance from K to XY, or XZ, sorry. So XZ is this one here, right? This is XZ. That we know from last chapter the shortest distance between a point and a line is a perpendicular line. So the shortest distance is going to be from this incenter perpendicular to that line. Well, that just so happens to be the one that's equal. So if this is 33, then this one's 33, and this one's 33. Okay, so the answer to the first one is 33. Okay, the shortest distance from the incenter to a line is perpendicular, and we know that the distance from the incenter perpendicular to all the sides are the same. Okay, and if I want to solve for the measure of angle X, Y, Z, that's this one, this angle here. All right, I know this is 39. This is an angle bisector, so if this is 18, this is also 18. So altogether, if this is 18, then this was also 18, so altogether it's 36. I add those up, and I get 75. Okay, and triangles altogether are 180, so I take 180, I subtract 75, and I get 105. Then so the measure of angle XYZ is 105. Since this is an angle bisector, I could even do these two pieces because I could just divide 105 by 2 and get 52 and a half. So KYZ is 52 and a half, and XYK is also 52 and a half. Okay, so your homework that you do in class on Monday is going to be just more practicing with circumcenters and incenters and the things they create.